You can just...
Maybe if I do this, then you can do the intro better.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Analogue Wonderland YouTube channel. We are here for the January-February rollover WonderBox competition, and this month's guest judge is Alex Heron. Yay! Hi Alex.
Hi. I hate doing that part. Like, whenever I say hi on any kind of video or podcast, I literally have to fast forward through it because I cringe so much.
That was a very lovely tone to your hi.
Thanks, I
Good.
practiced.
We are both wearing our front beanies. Shout out to the front lads. Alex, do you want to tell the kids all about front?
Well, I'm ambassador. We're both like pretty big deals with front. And I think that when are they launching? Are they launching? It's like pretty soon, isn't it?
I think they're hoping for like late spring, summer time.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be a pretty like new and sick way of essentially like getting paid for creating your photography and buying. Like, there's so many people that I follow that I always see their work and I'm like, I would love a print of that, especially Sophia Carey. I'm always like, I would just like buy all of her stuff. So to be able to actually buy that on front is going to be so good. I've just put a gallery wall in my bedroom and everyone's always like, why is it full of just like plain brown paper? And I'm always like, I'm waiting for front to launch because I'm literally just going to buy so many prints from there. I'm literally so excited.
Me too. So they're going to launch a platform that you basically upload all your work and then someone can order a print through front and they'll sort it all out for you, which will be amazing. We can all sell prints and not have to have like a crazy, ridiculous website to do so.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was a shout out to the front lads. Alex Heron. So I haven't actually met you yet in real life.
I'm taking this off because I'm getting a bit too hot because my mum always puts the heating on.
Okay.
Sorry.
Me too.
Just brushing my hair because ASMR. Right,
we haven't met in real life, but we've talked a lot on Instagram and shared many rants about our day and various topics. Yeah. Alex, how did I get in touch with you? I remember I did a giveaway on my Instagram and you had to nominate your favorite like female film photographer and someone tagged you.
I know who that was. That was Stephen. I remember that.
And yeah, that's how I found you. And then coincidentally, I can't remember how, Paul knew of you and I was like, oh, we should do an article with Alex. Yeah. And we did a SheheartsFilm blog all about you and the Breadth project. And since you have become a rising star in the Analogue film community.
One day, maybe. If I actually start taking pictures.
It's okay. We've only just begun. Yeah. So Alex is a film photographer. What else do you do, Alex? Tell the people.
I have started to accept being called a film photographer because I used to like mega cringe when people used to say that. But and I don't really know. Like, I just do loads of things. Like in my day-to-day job, I do like social media and things like that, which is not what I want to stay doing. But I also have just started doing I do a lot of advocacy work now, in terms of like autism, public speaking, things like that. So, which is like the Breadth platform. The Breadth project has given me a big platform to be able to do that. So I'm like gradually sort of transitioning into that, and then my biggest love in life is obviously spending time with my dog and my horses.
Horses.
Yeah.
I love seeing you dress them up in hats and stuff.
Yeah, they're so cute. Like, literally, like my ideal, like I would never get lonely because I just spend time with my pets. Like, that's my favorite thing to do.
Well, we should tell people what Breadth is if you don't already know. then shame on you because everybody should know what breadth is. So when did you start breadth? Like 20?
So it was like sort of March, like 2021, which
okay.
it like was it 2021?
I thought it was 2020 for some reason.
No, it was literally 2021.
Oh, so
That's actually
like it hasn't even been a year. That's crazy.
Yeah. So like basically I'd finished my master's degree and I was applying for jobs, and if I put on the job interview that I was autistic, like job application that was autistic, I would never get like not once get a call for an interview. And then if I didn't put on the application I was autistic, I'd usually like 9 times out of 10 get an interview, but I'd fail the interview because whenever I meet anybody initially I can't make eye contact, and it's just part of being autistic. Like it's not that I just don't like it, it actually makes my body feel like it's on fire. It's actually really physically painful. And obviously if they don't know you're autistic, they might think that you're like being rude. So I was like in this dilemma of like, I've got so much to give. I really want to I've done really well at uni. I've got so many ideas. I've got so much to give. I just need like someone to give me a chance, and no one will give me a chance because we just live in this world where we see this one like autism narrative on the TV and think everyone's like that. And I know so many people that are ordinarily autistic. Like we live everyday lives. We're in we thrive in the world. We have different jobs, everything. And I really want to try and change that narrative, and the only way to do that is if I'm brave enough to, because I'd never like told anyone, it was a secret. If I'm brave enough to like tell my own story, then hopefully it'll start to just kind of change people's perceptions a bit. So I started this breadth project, which it initially started with me to like portraits and telling my own story, and then now like tell the stories of autistic people from all walks of life. It tells the stories and the portraits of autistic people in like literally every career imaginable, in every life possible, just to show that autism doesn't look and act one certain way. And it's just something that I've like has been like monumentally life-changing, and like I don't know, just shaped kind of in a year like the person who I was and the person I am now are like totally different people. It's crazy.
Wow. I just can't believe it. You haven't even been doing it for a year, because it feels like just from watching so much like exciting things has happened to you.
Yeah. I think, well, I announced it in January 2021, but then obviously with COVID, what even happened in 2021?
So with the breadth project,
it's 2021.
You normally have like obviously the portrait series, but then you also get like really cool handwritten notes from the person, which I find so interesting because I think someone's handwriting just says a lot about their personality.
100%, I agree.
Personal thing. Like if I don't know someone well, I find it really interesting to see just how they write. I don't know. I love that part of the project, that you have that alongside the photographs.
I think for me, I really wanted, like the main thing for me was that autism becomes not just this, oh, they're autistic, like this subgroup of humanity. It becomes like people. And I think in seeing someone's handwriting, it kind of feels like you're reading a diary a little bit, like you're reading, it's quite intimate. And also for the person writing it, a lot of people are really insecure about their handwriting, and it does make you quite vulnerable. So I just think it's another layer of like vulnerability, and that person really opening up and letting the world see them and their story like authentically. So I feel like that's quite important.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have another thing with it? Of the photo?
I do hands, like taking pictures of hands.
Yeah, I knew there was like a third element. So I'm really bad with names, but I think my favourite one was like the little girl.
Which one? Poppy?
I'm sure she had some sort of like teddy bear in a photo.
Yeah, that's Poppy. Yeah, she's actually really sick. She's actually one of my friends now.
That's so cool.
Yeah, like I'm pretty much friends with everybody from the project. Like that's another thing. It's kind of more than just pictures for me. Like there's these people have like changed my life, and like I go down to like Birmingham and see my friend Alex. I see him a lot. Or, like if people are anxious about certain things, I can maybe, if I'm able to help them in that, like I can. So this like I guess like the internet sees the breadth of pictures and stuff, but the actual,
that's just like the surface level almost.
Yeah, like we
connected with them.
Yeah, and like Rory, he comes all the time and like does the horses with me and walks the horses and like brushes them and stuff. So I have like now this amazing community of people around me that help me, and I also like help them in their autism journey if I can. So yeah, it's like it's the surface level of it, but they're like real connections and real relationships that are involved.
And when you set out to do the project, obviously you wanted to like change people's perspective of what it is to be autistic and the like stereotypes of it that we see on the television. How do you think like that part of it has gone? Like, do you think you've shocked people, or do you think how have people reacted to the project?
I mean, like in my head, I was like, oh, right, okay, so I'm gonna change the world in a couple of months. Like nobody will be mean to autistic people anymore. Like it's gonna just fix this problem. So I guess like I haven't, like there's no way I can. I mean, I still think I can, but it's more difficult to completely change the like hundreds of years of narrative that the world has. So like I guess I think it's hard because in social media we see like people with millions of followers and like it's crazy the amount of reach you can get. And with my relatively like small community but very like amazing community, I think I have like 2,000 followers, but to me they're like 2,000 good followers, if you know what I mean. So even though it's not changed the world, it has changed the world of a few people. So I think that's like the most important thing, in that it has, I think, monumentally changed the narrative of a few of the people that are featured in the project, and has changed my world. And I think there have been people, in fact I know there have been people, because they have messaged me and have said, I've looked at your project and I finally felt like my world made sense, and I've since been diagnosed as autistic because of your project. So even though, you know, it's not changed the world and it's not got millions and millions of reach, I think it's definitely changed the worlds of a few people, which is really cool.
Well, I don't think you should like discredit it. Like 2,000 people is still a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think like obviously it's a complete different project, but with SheheartsFilm I could feel similarly, is that word?
Yeah.
But in that like we're talking about feminism and that sort of thing, but in such a small niche film community, and like is that actually ever going to get out into the wider world? But like it's got to start somewhere, these changes, even if it's really small. If one of your 2,000 followers like is impacted by it, and then they tell their friends in like different jobs or, you know, segments of the world, then that change is hopefully gonna
I mean, like I think it's so easy to confuse like social media success with real life success, because like with your SheheartsFilm, that's had an impact on my life. Like that catapulted me to places that like I credit SheheartsFilm for everything I have got. Like I know we can't talk about one thing, but I will be talking about that in 2 or 3 months. Emma knows, but she's not asked. I know. But like SheheartsFilm provided me with like, that changed my career, and in doing that you've also given a platform to autistic voices that wouldn't have got a platform. So the like, I don't know, there's like that butterfly effect, isn't there, where you never realize the effect that a relatively small part of the internet has a monumental effect on so many lives. So I think it's easy to forget the real life like influence that you have.
It's so exciting seeing the project grow. Like, you've did the talk in the photography show, and you've been on like quite a few podcasts since, like, people name, like,
I did a thing
so cool.
at York St John Uni for the United Nations Disability Day, and then I've just started a new job, which is very exciting, which was from the Breadth Project. I don't know if you know, like, Alex Manners. He was on the Breadth Project. He's the one in like really colourful clothes at the football ground. He kind of got me in from the Breadth Project, and now we are doing this thing called Neurovision, which is like with a company called Crease Puddle. Shout out to Steph as well, and Alice from Crease Puddle if you're watching. Where we're kind of like touring the UK, and we're training over 250 counterterrorism and cyber security police officers on how to interview autistic victims, witnesses, suspects. So like, in doing this training and like telling my story to these police, I've had police now say to me, because of my story that I've shared with them, because of the training that we've kind of like delivered in these interviews, that's completely changed the way that they would deal with an autistic customer, like, you know what I mean? An autistic suspect or witness or victim.
Yeah, so that's so cool.
It's like, you don't always see the effect that you have, and I think we forget that.
That's so cool you're doing that. I don't know if you would like the program. It probably does go into those like sort of stereotypes of what autism is in like the mainstream media. Can't even remember the name now.
What's
Netflix.
It about? Atypical.
Atypical.
Yeah, I like it. I really like it. Me and my mum watch it, and she's like, that is you. Like, that was you when you were younger. Like, that's literally what, like, and I'm just like,
there's a scene in that where I think he is, I've forgotten the main character's name now.
Sam,
thank you. He's staying at his best friend's house, and he's like not feeling comfortable at the sleepover. There's too many sounds and things, and he freaks out. He walks home in like the middle of the night, but because he's having like a bit of a panic attack, he just looks like really shifty, and the policeman like pulls him over and is like flashing a torch in his eye, thinking that he's like taken something. So that is like we're doing, just training them how to deal with
and like, so things, for example, like if you're interviewing someone, lack of eye contact, for example, I guess in ordinarily like police interviews and stuff, that might be seen as like a sign of deception. Well, with autistic people,
or something,
like that's totally not true. And at the end of the day, if someone's a victim, a witness, or a suspect, you want to get the best out of them that you possibly can, and the only way you can do that is by making everybody as comfortable as possible. So it's it's sort of teaching things like how to make an interview room friendly for neurodivergent people, how to communicate effectively with neurodivergent people. So it's just an amazing thing to be part of. It's an amazing thing to think that your voice could really completely change the outcome and the way that the police deal with neurodivergent people, which is not historically very good. So if we can change that, that's like, and the police that have received the training have all said like it's like really changed their perception and has helped them in their career a lot. So I don't know, I feel really lucky to be part of something bigger than me, and something that I used to be so ashamed of being autistic, and now I'm like so like really out there, especially autistic women, really trying to like champion that. So yeah, it's really cool.
Can you give a few of the like tips that you give to the police?
So we
should all know.
I mean, I guess one of the things that I've like discovered on the training with the other associates that I do it with is that no autistic person is the same. So like some things, like for example, I like to be able to see everybody in a room. I don't like anyone being behind me, whereas some people, autistic people, find it really distracting. But like the main things is like inference. If you think that if you're saying something and there's an inferred meaning, or there's like a hidden meaning, autistic people generally don't understand that.
Yeah.
Eye contact is another really big thing. And I guess trying to rule out any distractions. So things like ticking clocks. A lot of autistic people, myself included, like if we're having a conversation and there's like ticking clock, I won't be able to like concentrate on the conversation. I just be like, I cannot get that clock. Yeah. So it's just like things like that, just making sure that you're communicating really clearly and, you know, making kind of limiting distractions in situations. But I mean, everyone's different. Like the best thing to do is just ask, say like, is there anything I can do to make this more comfortable for you? I mean, everyone's different.
I think it's so cool you're doing that. And
yeah, it is. I love it. It's really good.
Yeah, I just like crazy that it's led you in all these different directions.
Yeah.
That, like,
and I'm hoping so much more to come.
Yeah, like you wouldn't have a year ago thought I'm going to be like delivering courses with the police from my film photography project. Like,
no, I literally was like so upset, and I was like, I was literally told by like literally my people in my extended family, like, if you do this, you're like, this is a really bad idea. So
you turned out to be a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you have any sort of like portrait shoots coming up or anything for the project?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I have some really exciting ones. I think it's been a bit difficult at the minute because I have really struggled with getting back into the shoots. Like, I think December, January, February has been really hard. And I think the longer you leave it, the harder it gets to pick up that camera again. And I think with the project, like, I feel like we're achieving so much with it, and it's really like it's really having an impact. But every time it achieves something, and the more impact it has, the more pressure there is.
Right.
And it's like, oh, it's really like people are really listening now. Like, this is, I have people messaging me like, oh my god, I've got to the age of 30 something or 40 something. I've even had someone in their 60s message me like, and I've only just realized from your project that I'm autistic, and this has changed my life, and blah 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 blah. And although that makes me like, I can't believe that I've helped someone that much in their life, but at the same time it's just like so much pressure. And then you're like, every shoot, so much pressure, and this and I have so many, especially when people are using the shoot to like sort of come out as autistic. It's like, it's such a responsibility. And I think the like emotional toll, because also they have such horrible school stories. I've never met an autistic person that wasn't like traumatized from school. It's just like, it becomes so all-consuming, and like really did put me in a really bad mental place. I think in December and January, and I thought I was getting better, but I didn't. So I do have like a shoot with my friend Steph planned. I have some really amazing shoots planned in London. I have a shoot planned in Southampton, which is really far. But I do have some amazing shoots planned. It's just, I mean, the one that I had planned at the weekend got cancelled because of the storm. But yeah, I think I just need to really like get my drive back.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot you're taking on, like the emotional, what's the word for it, you know, because it's not just a photo, like you're doing an interview and like really deep conversation, so you're going to take that all on board as well. And
and I tend to like I tend to make friends with the person sort of before the shoot, because I just think it's impossible to get the real person if you're not like friends with them. So it takes a long time to build up these relationships with people. It takes a long time for people to feel comfortable with you.
Yeah, it builds that trust.
Yeah, so it's really like, I love it, but the picture's kind of like the tip of the iceberg, and the rest of it is what goes on behind the scenes. And I just feel, I don't know if it's like the weather or something. It just like this time of year, like January, February, I just can't, I hate it. I go into sort of like a really cynical, bitter, like just want to just lie in my room and buy things on the internet.
I completely get that. The other day I was talking to Paul about the SheheartsFilm project, and he was like, "Oh, how are you feeling about it?" And I was like, "Oh, you know, like I've spoken to Michelle at Ilford before, like it's not really a big deal." And he was like, "Emma Lloyd, if you said a year ago, like you'd be talking to people from Ilford, like you wouldn't have even believed it. You were turning so cynical." And I was like, "You're right, like you need to just take a step back and realise it's all amazing. But it's the pressure that you build up in your head."
Yeah. I feel like with you, like you, because I feel like with you building SheheartsFilm, the more it achieves, the more pressure you feel to like achieve more, and then everything you do has to be better. And sometimes you just like think, if I like, I don't know. It's really hard, and it's really, I mean, this time of year really like doesn't foster any creativity for me. It actually physically offends me. The weather like makes me sick.
I think like seasonal depression like is a very real thing. Like sometimes if you're feeling a bit down but you look outside and it's like a lovely sunny day, that can instantly lift up your mood. And I think with film photography as well, like having good weather lends itself to film photography way more and makes it like you have way more flexibility to go out and shoot something. So the weather definitely does have an impact.
It so does, especially with like light. I battle with light so much with like my film photography. I mean, it's so hard, and I just think it just looks horrible, and I just don't enjoy like dark days and dark thoughts and dark stories, and it's just like it's too much.
Dark. Yeah,
it's literally horrible. I think one thing I've found that like has kind of got my drive back a bit. Initially, like I was like, I need to get back shooting, and the more pressure I was putting on myself, like the more I literally had to get my camera and put it in its bag and put it like somewhere else so I couldn't see it, because it was just upsetting me too much. But one thing I did was kind of like forget about the camera for a little bit, and I like did this thing I've been doing with the company, Creased Puddle, the police training, and in meeting other autistic people where I wasn't expected to
like fulfill a service
or give them something, or I wasn't expected to do anything except tell my story. I mean, that was really good, because I wasn't used to being around other autistic people where I wasn't needing to I don't know, give myself to that. So I think that was really freeing for me, and just speaking normally. I wasn't having these really deep conversations. I was, but like voluntary. It was just different. It wasn't because I needed something from them. I just was listening, and I think that was helpful for me, because it was like actually, you know, I don't know, it kind of validated me a bit. And then also I kind of just went out, like my dad got this like classic car, and I just took pictures of that, and took pictures of stuff that I'm not going to show anyone them, they're just for my dad. The pictures are no pressure, there's no why, there's no nothing, they're just pictures for picture's sake. And I think that helped. There was nothing profound about them. I literally was just pressing the shutter, and that was pretty good, because that got me back into wanting to shoot again. So I'm like really happy I've got the shoots planned now.
I think I would say the same if I was going to give a tip to people, because I'm sure lots of people feel in a sort of creative funk after Christmas. I think you're sort of burnt out from the whole Christmas craziness, and then it's like January, everyone's making their New Year's resolutions, new year, new me, like what are these goals I'm going to smash, and it just feels like a lot of outward pressure and internal pressure just from yourself, like especially on social media, like you just compare yourself to everybody. And I think choosing a project that's just completely random with no purpose, like just you and your camera, completely takes the pressure off. In the like VIP Facebook group with Analogue Wonderland, a few of us are just doing a like double exposure project together, so we're all just shooting a random roll of film and then swapping them and shooting over them again.
Oh, that's cool.
Like fun random things like that I'm trying to do more of, because you can have these big ideas but which are great, but they also come with their own sort of pressures and can stop you shooting or stop you being creative. So I think just starting with something basic and fun, or just going out with no intention, is a great way to get started.
I agree, because I think for a lot of people, photography is like your therapy and your outlet. And when you've got these big, when you're always aiming to change the world, or you're aiming to be profound with every image, or you're aiming to really create something of substance with every image, it becomes almost like a prison as well as a therapy, because it's constantly something that you're like chasing. Whereas if you're just using it as well as just, it can mean everything and nothing at the same time. And I think that's what I've tried to do. I've like my project, I've got so much plans for this year, but to be able to do those plans, photography has to also be something that's therapeutic to me too. So but just take the pressure off.
Yeah, because it's almost like having two conflicting ideas. Like you want photography to be your therapy and your outlet, but you also want it to be this incredible thing that you have like the most fantastic, amazing career, and you're like a famous photographer and making loads of money, which we all want maybe, but like to have both at the same time can be difficult. And if the pressure from one side is feeding into the other to where it's not becoming enjoyable, I think that's where like you should definitely take a step back and just remember like why you loved it in the first place.
I think also, like, as women, I don't want to get all radfem because I tend to do that on these, but I think women have this really like idea that you have to have achieved everything by the time you're 30, and after you're like all your hopes and dreams, your career, like everything, you have to have achieved it by 30, because after 30 you just drop off the face of the earth and you're invisible, and you feel like you have to use your 20s to get where you want. And I've really struggled with that. I've got 5 years left, I've got 5 years, and I've got to establish myself, and I have to get here and I have to do this and that. And when you say it to like men, they're sometimes like, are you dying at 30? Like, are you?
Yeah,
and it's
they're
like,
not on the clock in the same way.
Yeah,
they don't get it.
So it's really hard, like, because I have all these ideas, and I'm thinking, when I look at all of the people as well that I really like look up to, they're achieving their like notoriety, I guess, and their stuff at my age, and I feel like I've got to hurry up, like I've got 5 years left, and then after that it's too late. And I think actually, you know that song, I think it's by Billy Joel, like that Vienna Waits for You. I listen to that and I'm just like, actually, I'm not gonna die when I'm 30. Like, I might die a societal death, but I'll still be here. Like, I can, you know, if I'm not achieved monumental things like in 3 months, it's okay. Like, it's gonna be fine.
100%. Yeah, I think there definitely is that sort of age pressure with girls, but I also try and look at people who are really famous now, but like at more mature years in their life. It makes me feel a bit better.
Yes, it makes me feel better too.
And I think it's almost a more recent thing, like say Beyonce, she's 40 now, I think,
and Kim K,
and Kim K, like they're still at the absolute peaks of their careers.
I know, it makes me feel so much better.
Yeah, and I think especially in the like pop industry, it's like when a woman isn't as attractive or whatever, or she's had kids and then she can't be like sexualized in the same way by the media and make money, then like they're sort of just cut off from the face of the world. But I think that sort of tide is turning on that logic.
I hope so.
Really slowly, and that we can still have these amazing careers at like any age of our lives. And you're still very young, Alex.
I was like, I literally lie in my room and think, oh, 10 years, 35, that's okay. I will be not geriatric at that age. And then like 20 years, well, 20 years ago I was 5. So how long is that? That feels like quite a long time. Then I'll be 45. That's quite old. Like, I just think of that because I won't be having children. And if I do, it'll be when I'm like 40 something, because I have lots of plans and they would completely mess that up and I would have to give them to my mum. So
I think it's a very good point though about like just extra pressures that women may feel.
Yeah, just, you know, it's okay. Like, breathe. Yeah.
Any other tips that we could give people to like get out of their creative funks a bit more, if you're still feeling that New Year's anxiety?
I find like talking to other photographers like always really fun. Like if you can come up with something you're excited about. Also just talking to other photographers has been helpful for me to know that they feel the same, because I like scrolling, like when I'm scrolling I'm thinking, oh, they're doing such amazing stuff, they do, like, what's wrong with me? But then like I talk to my Instagram friends and they're like, no, I feel the same. Like I literally feel the same, and then you just feel validated and you're like, oh, it's all right, I'm all right.
Yeah, definitely. And like collaborative projects, if you can.
Yes, I always think that's like, I've actually yet to do that because I'm not very good at teamwork, but I'm working on it. Like I would love to, like, one of my things this year is to do like a collaborative project with somebody, but it's just I'm not that great at communication when things get stressful. I seem to like get overwhelmed and drop off the face of the earth. But my like main thing, not main thing, but one of my main things is I would really love to do something fun with some other like film photographers.
It doesn't even have to be a collaboration, I guess, like just going out with other photographers at the same time and just bouncing ideas off each other in person. I think that just takes the edge off, so you're not like in your own head as much.
And it's nice as well, like to have shared interests with people. I can't wait to come to one of the SheheartsFilm walk. That's like one of my biggest ambitions for this year. I'm actually not being brave enough to come because I'm a bit shy, but I'm not going to be this year.
Would you like to know the date of the next one?
Yeah.
The 12th of March.
Okay, hit. Have you got any other dates?
Not yet.
Oh.
So we're working on a walk with Ilford Photo, a collaboration. It's going to be in Liverpool on the 12th of March.
Okay. Oh, Liverpool.
Yeah. I think all the walks have been in London so far, and we want to spread them out across the nation. So we're going to start in Liverpool, do like a loop, go around the docks, end at the Cavern Club. So it should be cool. But
that's very fun. I'm not sure yet, Emma. I'll get back to you. I'm never busy for you. I'll actually tell you after. I'm literally never busy for you, unless the only times I'm busy for you is if I'm actually very busy.
I get it.
But if I'm not busy, I'm never busy for you.
It would be really cool to see you on one, or like.
No, I really want to come on one, but I'm just a shy girl.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have felt like that recently, especially as they get bigger and more successful, which is great. But also, if you don't know anyone to go with and there's like a group of 40 people, like that is just quite nerve-wracking. So
yeah, I'm so shy of groups. Like, what do you say? Do you just say like, does people go on their own?
Yeah, definitely. And the good thing is, you know, you're going to something where everyone's got a shared interest, and you've probably got your camera around your neck, so that's like a talking point straight away. Like, what camera are you shooting? What film are you using? And then it just goes from there, and you have like filmy banter, and the chats just keep on rolling.
But you'll be there, right?
I'll be there.
So at
and
least
we'll do many more. And you can come and visit Analogue Wonderland soon as well.
That's on my list. I literally have a list of goals, and me and my mum are going to visit Analogue Wonderland HQ because my mum is an Analogue Wonderland stan, like fully a stan, and she sits in her office at home working, and I can just hear Paul's voice on her computer, and she's like watching the YouTube. And
Paul
so,
says
yeah.
hello, by the way. We'll
I
have
should-
to send your mum like a cap or some
Oh, she
merch.
was. She's so when we're anywhere, she's like my agent, and she'll be like, "Hi, Paul. Just do you remember me? I'm there." She'll be really happy. She thinks she is. My mum is a VIP everywhere we go. She's like
She should
full on
be in the
VIP.
VIP group. Are
She
you in the
should.
VIP group?
No, I'm not VIP enough. How do you
Well,
join?
I will add you. I'll add
Wow.
you to the group. I want to get some more girls in the VIP group as well, so that would be good.
I would love that. I would literally be so honoured.
I feel like I knew this would happen, and we just end up having a lovely chat and forget.
Oh
that
yeah,
people-
we actually have to do the
What-
pictures, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Okay, should we go into the judging? Anything else you want to say, Alex?
The only thing I want to say is that I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight because I feel so guilty about the judging because I was literally going through these are so good, and people have spent time doing them, and if I didn't get a mention in a competition, I would feel rejected, personally attacked, and I would probably cry. So I'm like, if you don't get mentioned, it's not because I didn't like your picture. It was just because I had a limit, because I would have mentioned all of them, and I'm very upset and sorry if you get upset by the fact that I didn't mention you, because everybody's picture was good.
Okay, we are going to start now with the WonderBox competition judging. Thank you for bearing with us, and I hope you've enjoyed our lovely chat. Yeah, Alex and I haven't met properly before, so I'm very excited to be talking to her, if you can't tell. So, as always, we'll have one grand winner, one lucky dip winner that is chosen at random, and how many special mentions have you got? 6
Loads, because I couldn't choose.
That's good. We have a generous judge today, guys. And the winners shall be sent an Analogue Wonderland gift voucher to spend on the wildest films of your deepest desires. So, shall we get into it? We're going to start with the first one. Also, this month we opened up the competition to WonderBox subscribers and Facebook VIP. So hopefully we've got some more entries. And Ewan is a well-known member of the VIP group. We chat quite a lot, and he's always got like brilliant bits of advice and cool stuff to share with everyone. So it's nice to see him being mentioned by Alex.
Yeah, I just wanted to say this is a special mention because this dog is so cute, and I'm feeling girl energy from this dog. I feel like she's a girl. She just looks so kind. I'm sorry if she's a boy, but she just seems like just looking at her face, I was just like, she's so cute. She deserves a special mention.
So the photo is called Nuala.
Oh, so she probably is a girl.
So that sounds like a girl name. And it was shot on Lomo color negative 400. Alex, what do you like about the photo other than the adorable dog?
Honestly, when you put your favorites in the folder, I just immediately just put all of the pictures of dogs into the folder, and I was like, actually I have to look at the photography. I like the way that it just made me feel emotional just looking at it, because I just think she looks so kind, and I think it's the way that you've got the eyes. I just think the focus is really good, the composition's really good, but I just I'm not really a very technical photographer, so I'm more about feeling, and I felt like she was just so kind, and if she is really kind, you've captured that really well in the picture.
Aww. So let's see what Ewan says about the film. It says Lomo are a great alternative to Kodak color films. Do you use Lomo much? Are you a Kodak girl?
I used Lomo 400 one time, and I thought it was the most horriblest film I've ever used in all my life.
Alex, I'm trying to sell films here.
No, it was all right. I just didn't like it very much. But I'm sure it was user error. It was user error.
The Analogue Wonderland stocks crash overnight. Okay.
I like Kodak, I have to say.
Ewan says about this photo, what he liked about it was that pose and those ears, which agreed.
I agree. She's so cute.
So well done to you, and thank you so much for entering. Like, it's really great to see people from the VIP group in the competition as well. So well done to Ewan. Do you not clap for special mentions, Alex?
Oh, sorry. And special clap to Dog because she's so cute.
Next photo. Who is this by, Alex?
Miles Myerscough. Is that how you say it? Myerscough Harris.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, Miles is the man, the myth, the legend behind Expired Film Club.
What the heck? Really?
Yeah.
I never knew. What the heck?
So Miles is like, he's just so cool, and his Instagram's so cool, and
I agree.
Watch his aesthetic reels forever of him loading film in the most picturesque places. But anyway, what do you like about Miles's photo?
I like this photo because I think it tells a story, and I think the best pictures always tell a story. I'm getting up big. And I just felt like it's kind of like so simple, but it's not just like one-dimensional or static. It's I don't know, you're asking questions like, why are they there, what are they reading? I kept going back to it. So yeah, I really like the tones. I like it's like very cinematic. I'm guessing that's partially due to that it's on CineStill, but like you've got the kind of cyan tones of like the cinematic, which I really like. Like I just thought it was a vibe, to be honest.
Yeah, I completely agree on that photo. It does make you like want to ask a lot of questions about the subject and what he's reading and what he's up to. And I think shot on CineStill get those really cool halations, if that's how you say the word. So the light above him just looks really cool and creates a sort of eerie mood to the photo as well, which I really like.
I like the red and the cyan, or like green red, because I think that like the colors, obviously that's like really cinematic. It does look like something it could be out of like a movie still. So I just thought it was really sick.
So yeah, you're right, this was shot on CineStill 800T, and Miles says it's the perfect film for low light scenarios, particularly if there's any artificial lighting around, to get that beautiful orbing effect, which Miles definitely does get on that like overhead light above the guy reading. Looks really cool.
Agree.
And he says he captured this shot at the local market in Ancona, Italy, when my brother and I visited for the weekend. He says that so casually, as if we've all been hopping over to Italy recently. I'm very jealous. Lovely photo. Thank you so much, Miles, for entering.
Right, I'm on the spreadsheet.
Okay, next one.
Oh, this is my mum's pick. My mum was really impressed by this picture because
that's so nice. Your mum picked one.
Yeah, so these were judged not just by me. There was huge arguments in the Heron house this afternoon between me, my mum, and my sister because we all had different opinions, and it took us a long time to agree on a list. And my mum loved this picture. She was like, this is Sophie's special mention.
That is amazing that it was a team effort. We love that. So what did your mum like about this photo?
Well, I would get her to come and say herself, but she has suddenly become camera shy. She liked this one because it tells a story, and I think that's like, for me, the biggest thing with photography anyway. Like at first glance, obviously it's like well composed, but this person like on the phone sat looking at the camera, I just think it looks like this could be like one of those iconic 60s images, like iconic 60s street photography, like they're looking directly at the camera, and it makes you feel a little bit like on edge, a bit uneasy, because I've been in that situation when someone's looking at you and you think, oh god, I gotta be quick because they're gonna like, you don't really I don't know, I just think it makes you feel a little bit uneasy, and it triggered an emotion in me, and it definitely, my mum was like, this tells a story, this is like really good, and my sister agreed. So
yeah, I really like this one. I didn't even notice the figure straight away because I think I was drawn straight to the fish and chip sign.
Yeah,
which says a lot about me. But I think that's really cool that they've caught someone like in the moment. And you're right, it does take an element of bravery with like street photography, whether to risk taking that shot and potentially get like chased down the street, or decide, oh, I'm gonna leave this one. But Chris Lockyer, who took this photo,
it's really good,
went for it, and it paid off. So this was taken on Street Candy ATM 400.
I've never heard of that. I've never even heard of it.
What? So Street Candy is the really cool film that comes in the cardboard container.
See, this is, I'm so bad, like I don't experiment at all because I don't like change. So but that's another thing of my list to do this year, is to experiment more with film, because I love that. It looks like one of those really iconic 60s, like I love it. So I will definitely be buying some, 100%.
Yeah, it's a really cool film. So Vincent, I'm going to butcher his last name, Vincent Machete is the guy behind it. I think this is the second film he released. The first one was 100 ISO. But this one is called ATM 400 because I believe it's using the same emulsion that back in the day they used to put in like ATMs on the street.
Oh, wow.
As like the security camera to capture footage if anyone was like meddling or doing something wrong. So it's the same emulsion used in this film.
I'm 100% gonna buy some.
Yeah, it's
I love
really
it.
nice, and uses the cardboard canisters, which is also really cool.
Yeah. I love it.
So Chris said about Street Candy, it is a very grainy film. So if that is what you're after, go for it. And about the image, he says the grain suits a nighttime image, which I agree. I really like a grainy shot. Are you in with the grain?
I love it. I think it can really add emotion and atmosphere. Yeah. And I like that I think it's a girl, but it might be a boy. But I like that this person in the photos like I don't know, I just feel like the graininess adds to the kind of staring, and I don't know, it just really creates an atmosphere. And I think I like that you can't tell in what decade this was taken. This could be taken now, or it could have been taken in the 50s, 60s. So like I really love that about that film. I'm definitely going to buy some. Well,
you've come to the right place. Well done for reminding me this time. Well done, Chris. So the next one, we have another special mention by John Broughton. And this image is called Shafted.
This is a work of art. Seriously, it is so good. I want to know, like, if this light, this kind of celestial divine light is done in camera and not in post, then John, you are a genius. This is literally, I would buy this image. And have it as a print.
That is so cool how he's captured not only that light, even without, but like the people in the light at that moment.
Exactly. Like I was in awe. Like when I opened this image, my jaw literally dropped. It's like, I don't know. It looks. It's just such a good picture. Like I would literally have that on my wall.
It reminds me of like a UFO when they take the people. Yeah.
I really want to know, like, if this like what do you call this thing? Like a beam of light. Is if this is done in post or if this was literally captured in camera, because that's crazy. Like, that's
Yeah.
amazing. I love it.
Well, hopefully John will tell us. So this photo was taken on Kodak Tri-X 400.
Is that the one that's black and white, but is like C41 processing?
No, that's XP2, I think.
Oh.
That's an awkward film. That's okay. You're used to taking all the stunning portraits. What do you use normally? Portrait
400. Portrait 400. I should have got some 800, but I usually use Portrait 400, and that's it. Because do you know what it is? It's that when I'm doing this breadth project, most of the people on the project have never had their photo taken, and I hate having their photo taken, so it's like a massive deal. So I try to like minimize as many variables as I can.
Yeah.
So I know that film's good. I know the results I'm going to get from it, and therefore I'm not going to have to ask for a reshoot. I think that's why I've not been experimenting.
Yeah, because you know that emotion you like, you may as well stick with it for that project. But
for that project, exactly.
To like, experiment with things outside of it, like you saying, you know, taking pictures of your dad's car and just doing projects with less pressure, just for fun. That's a good chance to try some new films.
I really want to try that candy one that we just spoke about, and I really, I've only used literally Ilford, HP5, FP4, and then like obviously lomography, but we shan't mention that, and then and then obviously Kodak Portrait. It was user error.
So not as many films as I would have expected. Interesting.
I know. I need to I don't like trying new foods either.
Well, now you've seen some examples, hopefully.
Exactly. Well, I've already got 3 films from this I'm going to buy, so.
Look at me marketing our films. You see this, Paul? We've got 3 sales already. So John says he likes the slightly grungy look of this film. And he says about the light, Alex. He says the shaft of light was completely accidental. I wasn't aware it was there until I developed the film.
It's amazing. It's stunning, and I think that when Front launches, you should upload this image to Front Photography, because I think people will buy it. People being me.
That is a really cool photo. I still want to know more about how that happened, though.
Me too. That's insane.
Like accidental in the shot, or like accidental?
Do you think is it a light? It's not a light leak, though, is it?
I'm not sure.
I just love it.
Because it's completely over the trees.
Yeah, that's why I thought it could have been done in post.
Yeah. Well, it works amazingly well. So well done, John.
Well done. Amazing. Oh, sorry.
We're going to just have to add claps in the editing.
Yeah. Okay.
Next one. Do you want to talk about this one, Alex? Who's it by?
How do you say that? Is that Simona? Is that how you say the name?
Yeah.
How is that how you would say it?
Yeah.
Okay. This one is by Simona, and this I think is amazing because of to be able to see these details. People must just have such a good eye, because I'd probably just walk past. I don't even know what I'm guessing this is a structure on a building. I love it. Yeah. But I just think it's so interesting to look at. I really like strong geometric shapes. I think they make me feel a sense of calm, and I just feel like she could have taken a picture of the whole building, but she kind of went in and took a picture of this detail, which I think shows that she's got a really good eye, and I just think it's a stunning picture.
I like how just with the way you can frame something, you can completely abstract it and remove the context of what it is.
I 100% agree, and I think it takes a lot of skill to be able to do that in a really clever and curated way. And I just think that she's really nailed that with this. Like, it's become something you don't quite know the whole story. Like, you don't know what the whole setting looks like, but to not zoom in, but like hone in on this detail, I think creates something quite stunning.
I really like the contrast in it as well. It's like got really nice deep blacks at the bottom. So what film was this on?
Delta.
Ilford Delta 3200, which Alex also isn't familiar with, but is adding to her basket as we speak.
Yeah. I do think this kind of image works really well in black and white, because it forces you to just look at shapes and really highlights the contrast. And like when I was saying autistic people have these distractions, I think sometimes we can do that in our images, where if it's in color, sometimes you don't know whether to look at the color, and or there's so much to look at, and by taking that away, it really directs your eyes. I think that's really interesting.
So about the film, Simona says, this may be general knowledge for someone with more experience, but I learnt that even with high ISO, light will not be picked up at night from a longer distance if it's not got anything to bounce off. Many of my shots came out with just the spots of light visible. Could be interesting as a guess the famous building game, but there's easier and cheaper ways to do that. I couldn't guess that building, but
I couldn't guess it, but I think that's like what we're saying. That's what I like about it. It's become something like stunning on its own, and by telling part of the story, I think it's more interesting than telling the whole story.
So well done, Simona. We both really like that image. Next one, Alex.
Oh, okay. So this one, I have wanted to try this for so long, where I'm guessing to do this, do you put 35mm in a medium format camera? Like, do you know how to do this, Emma?
So you can get cameras, like Lomography does one called the Sprocket Rocket that specifically exposes the sprockets, or I believe you get these little adapters that slot onto like the top and bottom of your 35mm canister, so you can use them in a medium format canister. Thing.
Because I think YouTube had to do that, and I think I saw someone use them in a Pentax 6.7. They did that in a Pentax 6.7, and I picked this just because I thought I really love it when people do like push themselves to do something new and to push themselves to do something like difficult, because I think that's when you end up getting better, and it's something I want to do but I never do. So I really admire like pushing the rules, breaking the rules of photography. I actually really like the like in the scan there's obviously a rip in the film. I ripped a film once on a shoot. It was terrible, but I just think that sometimes these things that people look at as mistakes actually just really add to a story of an image. And I like that this person has like pushed the boundaries of 35mm and has done something like interesting. And I just thought that this, like, I don't know, I just liked it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun. I thought that this like damage to the film just added to it, and thought it made it I kept going back to it because I thought it was really interesting.
It's like a happy accident, and also very creative, because if I ripped a film I would have just been like and just thrown it away probably. Like I wouldn't have thought to like piece them together like that. So I think it's really cool, and the fact that it's like a really wide panoramic shot as well adds another layer of just interest to the photo. So let's see what film this was shot on. So this photo is called Broken Arrow and was shot on Ilford Ortho 80. And Lawrence says this film really does work well with vegetation, which is a good tip. And so what happened was, this was the last shot and the film snapped as I messed up the rewind. But happy
We've all been
accident.
there. But I do
looks really
think
cool.
it's cool. Like, it's cool that he submitted that, and it's come out like really amazing. I wouldn't have even scanned it, and I think that's taught me to, when I do make mistakes, to not just completely write them off, because that's turned out so sick. And I think we can all learn from that, like, just because you've made a mistake, just give it a chance, because sometimes these mistakes like make a picture better.
Yeah, that's a really cool one. Well done, Lauren. Okay, last special mention, and then we're on to the lucky dip and the grand winner.
This is my sister picked this one. She loved it. My sister's called Abby. This is Susie Jones, and it is the like phone booth. My sister loved that. She thought it was so good. And again, I think this must be cine still, but I thought it was really cinematic. Like, my sister thought it was really cinematic. It had those really, like, I love like the colors. So like you have like the blue and orange on one side and the red roof, and I just think that these colors like work, obviously, and they're used all the time in like movies and cinematography, and I just think this could be something like on a movie set. I just thought it looked sick. I thought that the light coming through was really sick. Thought it was really well composed. My sister was just like, I love that one, I'm choosing that one. So
yeah, I really like it as well. I think the colors are so nice and vivid, especially with the like glow of the graffiti on the window. I think that's really cool. And yeah, just captured at the exact right moment. The way the shadows have formed across the phone box is really cool. It would make a nice print as well, that one. I think.
Really nice.
So this one by Susie was shot on CineStill 800T, and that's a good tip. Don't assume it is only for after dusk adventures, because I think we typically see 800T with like neon lights and nighttime shots, but Susie's just shown how you can get some really cool shots in the day as well.
Yeah, it's really good.
And about this photo, Susie says, it seems to be a standoff, question and relic all in one. It seems simple, and yet I can't work it out.
I love that.
Thank you so much to all the special mentions. Well done, everyone. And really good to see some of the VIP group entering as well. So now for the lucky dip winner. So this one was chosen at random.
Lucky dip. Oh, okay. This is Lawrence again.
Oh, well done, Lawrence.
This one is. Do you know? I was actually like, this is one of the ones we were having an argument about this afternoon.
Oh, cool. So why were you arguing about it?
Because it's one of those pictures that, like, I think looks like a really sick documentary shot that you'd see in like a documentary book. I thought it was really cool, and I was like sort of wondering what the intro. I'm trying to get it up big because originally I was like, what even is it about? Like, what even is it in the picture? And is it like a remote control airplane, or like what is that?
That's what I thought, but then it also looks a bit like a rudder on a boat or something.
Oh,
but I don't think it is that.
It could be a rudder. But anyway, I just thought it was sick, because then I'm thinking, is she at the beach? Is this at the beach? I'm guessing it's at the beach. And I like that it's kind of like got a motion feel about it. There's like some kind of
movement in the photo.
I just thought that was cool. It kind of like added with, I don't know, it felt like it was a really shot of a moment in time. I don't know, I liked it.
Yeah, like a decisive shot.
Yeah.
So the photo is called Waiting and Watching, and it was shot on Colour Plus 200, which we all love and miss and haven't seen for a while, so it's nice to see a photo on it. And Lawrence says, just use it, it's lovely. I mean, we would if we could get our hands on some. Until that day, we will admire your photo, Lawrence. So that was the lucky dip winner. Well done, Lawrence. We'll be in touch with your prize. And now for the grand winner. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, this one. Oh my gosh, how talented. So this one is by...
No, this is so cool.
I know.
Sorry,
Peter Angus, Lone Figure. This is like iconic level photography. For me, like I saw this and I was like, this is taken by a famous person. This is like, I don't know. I felt like I'm watching somebody, I'm looking at the early work of someone who's going to be very famous. Because I just thought like the way that that's composed and stuff's like fine, like really high level. And like this figure in the middle. And this again is something that print wise you need to get on front, because this is insane. It would look amazing printed.
The composition of it is just like, it's all perfectly matched up with like the triangle in the middle, but then the two pools of water on either side, and you've got so many leading lines in the image just taking lots of directions. This is an awesome shot. I love this one.
Yeah, I saw this and I was like, this is like genuinely a masterpiece. This is so good. I love I think that the film stock has really like the tones of this, the black and white in this is like perfect. I don't think it could get any better. I just think it looks like there's literally nothing that could be better about this picture.
So this was taken on Adoc CMS 20. I think that's the
I've
name.
literally never heard of that.
Yeah. This is on Adoc CMS 22. And I think Adoc's films are known for being like super sharp, like detail, like super high resolution. And that's really added to the like just composition and sharpness of the overall image.
Yeah, they look super sharp, and I like that the contrast between the light and the dark on this film is insane.
So the name of this photo is Lone Figure, and Peter's tips for this film are to meter, then meter again, and then bracket. Okay. So meter again. It's a good tip because it's an extremely low ISO film. It's ISO 12.
ISO 12. So what? I wonder what I'm guessing this would have had to be on a tripod, and I'm guessing I don't know what the shutter speed would have been for this. Surely.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you've got the water looks like really soft, like not soft as in out of focus, but like you see the ripples on it.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
Have been a longer exposure or something.
Yeah.
But
so
really cool and definitely lends itself to this image.
I love it. I really love this image. I think it's amazing.
So well done, Peter. You are a grand winner for this month's WonderBox competition. Woohoo! Thank you so much for judging, Alex. I hope you enjoyed it and it wasn't like a stressful experience.
No, I loved it. I love this kind of thing, and especially doing it with you, because I'm sad I haven't been to Analogue Wonderland HQ, but it's on my list. I'll be there soon.
Yeah, hopefully Miss Rona will behave and you can come in soon. Before you go, I did put on my stories any questions for Alex. And
I love this. Hit me.
There's only a couple. So one from Jamie is a photography.
Okay.
What is your favorite cheese?
I would say I'm not really a massive cheese kind of gal. I would have said Port Salut, delicious. We're talking about like cheese that you eat. That's not like a photography term, is it? That's like actual cheese. Okay. So like Port Salut, but obviously I like cheddar. But I would say I just have to say like I just love mozzarella. Obviously I like Parmesan on pasta, but just like a tomato caprese mozzarella with a bit of salt, a bit of balsamic, maybe a bit of basil, like that. Delish, right?
Kiss. Amazing. Okay, from Josh Thompson.photo.
Oh
Aside
yeah.
from your main project, Brett, what other things do you enjoy photographing?
So I think for me, I don't know whether this is because of my autism or what, but I really struggle with creating things, taking photos without a why, or just for like aesthetics, because it doesn't, I don't know, don't connect with it. I don't know, I find it really difficult. So I always just, and I find it very hard to express emotion or love, particularly. Like, I'm very much somebody that shows love through actions and not words. So I like to take pictures of people I love and things I love, because I think that shows to me them through my eyes, shows the reasons I love them, like the way they tilt their head, or that certain thing they do with their mouth, or just something that I see the reasons why I love that person and they don't particularly. So I take a lot of pictures of my grandparents as well, but I don't see them as much anymore.
That is such a lovely answer. We just need to all go out and photograph things or people that we love.
Yeah, I agree.
All the creative inspiration you need. Love. So the last question is from the front boys.
Oh, I'll
they
put my
said, "Oh, me too."
Oh, it's not straight.
Your favorite things about each other? Question for both of you.
That's well. How long have we got? I mean,
How long
this is
have
a
we got,
whole
guys?
YouTube video in itself. First of all, I don't know if any of you know, but Emma has the best fashion sense that anybody could ever have. Like,
I wasn't expecting that answer. Oh,
yeah. Like, I see what you wear on your stories and I think, I want to wear that. There's a pair of pink dungarees that I would ask you to leave to me in your will if you were ever to die. And I think I just think every outfit you wear is amazing. It's colourful. It's like Wes Anderson. I just love it. So that's one thing. I like that you basically made my entire career, obviously, with SheheartsFilm. And I like that you're funny like me. I'm nearly as funny as you, Emma.
oh, Alex, thank you. That was so cute. I'm gonna save that as some voice recording to listen to before I go to bed.
You are like fashion, like top tier level. Like, you're one of those people, you know, when you think of the people that shoot film and you're like, they're the really cool, creative, like Billie Eilish, like, that's you.
Thank you so much. I would never ever think that about myself.
You are. You like the Shoreditch kind of brick lane girl. I love it.
Oh, my life has been made. Thank you so much, Alex.
It's okay.
And that's the end. No, I'm joking. Well, I'll say what I love about you now. I love Alex's just general wit and sarcasm. Like, I love your sense of humor. I think we have quite similar sense of humor, and I could just message you something and you'll be like, just respond with a meme or just one word and I'll be like, she gets it.
Yeah.
Obviously love what you're doing, like what you stand for, that you're doing photography but with a cause and a purpose. Like, I admire that so much. I think what you've done is just so amazing, and you have genuinely impacted my life and taught me and so many other people things, not just about autism and what it is to be an autistic person, but just to be better humans, and that we should all know and care about these things and not, have to be educated in such a way. But you are educating us, and we all appreciate that a lot.
That felt like wedding vows.
I'm not done.
Oh, okay.
I think you're absolutely stunning. I just love your energy and your personality, and just your passion for life, even though it's sarcastic and may not seem passionate a lot of the time, I know it is like a sarcastic passion for life. I enjoy it very much.
I always like talking to you because my personality is like, when I say something, 99% of the time I'm being sarcastic. Like literally pretty much all the time I'm just trolling. And I feel like you're the same. Like you're a lot, like your humor's quite dry and my humor's quite dry. And I sometimes think people might just think, God, she's like she's so weird.
Just rude. Yeah.
But actually, I don't know. I mean, I am also, like, being autistic, do sometimes say things that are incredibly rude, and I don't mean to be. But like a lot of the time, I'm just being completely sarcastic, and I just think I really like it when I meet somebody that completely like has that really like British kind of subtle humor. It just makes like I love it. So that was me and Emma's wedding vows.
Yeah. If you want to join the dry humor club, let us know and we'll add you to the group chat.
Yeah, but no, we don't do any kind of dry humor like misogyny or any rude things. We don't do any racist, homophobe. No nasty jokes.
You have to pass the vibe test.
It's disgusting. It's only positive. Okay.
Yes. I feel like I'll have to add a disclaimer to maybe put this at the end of the video because I don't know if anyone wants to listen to us proclaim our love for each other for 15 minutes, but I hope they all enjoyed anyway. Alex, thank you so much for being on the channel.
Thanks.
It's so nice to just chat to you, and I really do hope we get to meet in person soon because
we will this year, 100%.
And I'm just so grateful to have met you and connected with you.
Me too.
And
not as grateful as me. Because you made my career.
Oh, we will be back in a circle of telling each other how amazing we are if we're not careful. So thank you so much. And thank you everyone for watching, and well done to all the entries and winners and lucky dip winners and all you special people out there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thanks for asking me. And everybody should have got a special mention. In my heart, they did.
Okay. See you next time, everyone. Bye.